It should be noted that I am doing this during a snowstorm, so if there's no day 18, it's probably because I lost power. Hopefully that won't happen. Day 17, Balvenie 17. Welcome to KIllco once more. This is what it looks like when I remember to hit the record button. Thankfully, I've done that many times before, but this one time yesterday. Getting right down to the pour because, for whatever reason, I get nervous when stuff has a real high age statement, and I don't know of many 17-year-old whiskeys I've ever had. I've had some pretty high years, and again, they always make me feel slightly uncomfortable. Oh, yeah, that's the stuff. And let's not forget, this bottle, I always want to go squeak, squeak. On to the color. This is actually much darker for a scotch, at least to me. But as always, it's that straw hay-colored thing, or a yellow sun kind of deal. And it looks nice. It's very enticing. Onto the nose. And again, I think I found I say it that way because it's a little bit pretentious. It feels a little weird, but it's just part of the process, and it's better than saying, I'm gonna smell it now. So, to the nose. Oh my goodness. That reminded me of wine. That's new. Like white wine. And it's also got that funk, which, at the moment, the general consensus from people who I've been talking to say that is a malt funk. So that explains why I always get it on scotches. Make the whiskey dizzy, and try again. Oddly enough, I'm getting some kind of chocolate and a bit of citrus. This seems to be a common theme, but to put it in a weird way, it seems softer. Even the funky smell I'm getting seems a little less smoothed out, I guess. That's kind of I suppose the idea of having thing in barrels in Scotland for a while is that things get smoother or less aggressive, I guess is the best way to say that. Needless to say, I'm getting curious about this and wanting to drink it more, so once more onto the palate. Ah, mamna. Difficult to pin down, we'll say. And again, the first sip is usually just to prep my body for the fact that I'm going to drink alcohol. But I guess we'll say it's sweet, because they usually are. And there is something else. There's a sweet citrusy and a little bit of mild pepper, I think. And again, I feel like I'm saying this about every single scotch I have, but the ones I've been getting have been Space Size and Highlands and such, so there aren't many aggressive notes in this. It's actually very friendly, very inviting, and you might impress someone with being like, hey, I'm going to give you this 17-year-old Balvenie scotch. It's classic, basically. Next, we're going to hold it on the tongue for a little bit. Yeah. The usual baking spices are all there. It is a little... The texture is pretty rich. It sticks around. I like it. And of course I want to say malt, but that's still something I'm kind of vague on what the taste is to me because I don't eat many malt things. So it's frustrating. I must admit the spices do show up pretty prominently at the end. And you even get a little tinge of that oak. Just a tinge. Since it is late at night, and as always, this is for the experience, and I actually remembered to hit record this time. We'll get to the second part of my episode stuff, whatever you want to call this, where we check the app, which is linked down below, and see what other kind of vocabulary I can get to help me along with picking apart this lovely dram. Yeah? Okay. One of these days I'm going to have an order to this. We'll start with saying the average price of this is around $130. That changes a few things in my mind. I don't know if it does for you, but whew, that's a lot of money for a bottle. Community nose profile. Honey, vanilla, apple, and sherried. Again, I did get a wine note on the start, but I've had plenty of sherried stuff before, and I never got this random white wine kind of hit as I did with this one. Community flavor profile is oak, spicy, vanilla, toffee, sherried, and honey. All of those are true. It's very nice. And if you like scotch, you're going to like this especially. I remember having a conversation with some other whiskey tuber people during one of their streams, I forget who, but they were pretty much telling me that Balvenie is a signature staple of what scotch is like. So I am very happy to enjoy this dram because of that. And the finish profile, oak, spicy, honey, vanilla, and sweet. So, with all that said, you can understand why, and I'm telling this to myself, to be honest, is I feel like I repeat myself very often with what I say, but also when I go and look it up, yeah, it's a little repetitive with scotches. But that's how it is. We're starting at the baseline of what I get and what is easiest to understand for everyone, which makes it a little less intimidating, I think, is what I want to say. So I may be saying the same thing a lot of the time, but that's kind of the point. Other people can relate, and other people get fancier stuff, but that is the way the whiskey world is just to experience it with others and just experience it yourself, if nothing else. The official overview, origin, Scotland Speyside. It's a Speyside. ABV is 43%, probably didn't say that earlier. Type is a single malt scotch, and the age is 17 years, like it says on the bottle. The official color, it says rich amber, and in my thought is, well, it's close, but clearly these guys are not comparing this to bourbons, where I feel that is the staple of amber as far as colored whiskey. But again, it's pretty damn close. It could be construed as a very light colored bourbon. Official nose. Elegant and complex, with oak, vanilla, honey sweetness, and a hint of green apple. It's almost exactly what the community profile said. I don't know if I'm getting any apple, but I definitely get a lot of fruit notes out of stuff like this. It's always hard to pick out which ones, but I would agree on apple. Official nose. Sweet with dried fruits, sherbet spice, toasted almonds, and cinnamon, layered with the richness of creamy toffee notes, traces of oak and deep vanilla. Sounds pretty good, and I would agree. A lot of that is in there. I gotta sip it just to make sure, though. So, I would agree with the dried notes. Almonds, don't know. Cinnamon, yes. Creamy toffee, I don't know. But yeah, a little oak and vanilla on there. It's nice. The official finish, vanilla oak, honey, and a spicy sweetness. Yeah, like most Speysides, these are all correct things. Would I pay $130 for this kind of whiskey? No. I can think of much more complicated whiskeys than this, but I'm certainly glad to have tried it, and I find it very tasty. Well, until tomorrow, let's hope I get to do another review tomorrow, and if I lose power, that's a whole other problem. But if I don't, we'll try to do another one of these. So, till tomorrow, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome, and sláinte. Thank you for joining me on KIllco. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.